And then I'm going to say hello.
Remember that perfect picture you drew.
Welcome, race fans, boys and girls, men and women of all ages. Welcome to the Domino's TYJ Racing Premier Xfinity Series, live on All Pro Broadcasting here at Texas Motor Speedway. Tonight you are lucky and fortunate to be watching the Paradigm Technology 200, like I said, live on All Pro Broadcasting. I have a special guest in the broadcast booth with me tonight. James Ross is a great driver in our league. He won his Daytona Split. Is that what you call it? James, good to see you tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Robert. How are you?
I'm doing just wonderful. I love getting home, getting the headset on, getting after this iRacing and broadcasting. We love doing this. What are you looking for in this qualifying session, James?
Well, qualifying here, I mean, it's your typical intermediate track here, quad oval, one of the quickest on the circuit. Look for a lot of quick times. Looking in practice, these guys were all kind of kicking around the same kind of lap times there, real tight. I'm looking at Gerald Campbell maybe taking the pole here. He was real quick in practice, but we'll see how it goes.
Thank you, James. I'm going to go over our driver standings so far in our Premier Xfinity League. Number one in the standings as we speak is Nick Reynolds before tonight. He's in the number 10 with 176 points. We have Dustin Lee behind him with 170. Curtis Young is in third with 168. Ray Richer is up in fourth in the points. Jeremy Crandall having a great season so far in the Xfinity Series. He's in fifth. James Somke is in sixth. Gary Sexton is in seventh. He'll be driving that Paradigm Technology sponsored car tonight. It's a Camaro. Jack Watts is in eighth. Judd Danielson in the 85. Should be the Domino's TYJ Racing sponsored car tonight. He's in ninth, and we have Donald Stewart rounding out the top 10 in points. These guys have got a pretty big gap between them, but as you know, James and fans, you win a race and you are in the chase.
Oh yeah, that's what it's all about. You know, you could have 2, 3, 4, 5 rough weeks in a row when you come and put a good one down and get yourself up in the winner's circle, and there you are. You're in the chase with a chance to win it all.
That's exactly what we're looking for. And as we see right now, it looks like as we speak, Mark Jackson, who is one of our new drivers in the number 3, he has got the fastest qualifying time at a 28.135. We'll go over some of these other guys in just a minute as they grid. I want to tell all the fans about a couple of big things. Tonight we have a very special sponsor, Paradigm Technology. Design, develop, integrate. They're headquartered out of Atlanta, Georgia. Paradigm Technology is a remote web tech development company. They specialize in app software and software development. Paradigm leverages creative and developmental talent throughout the country in order to achieve the greatest level of success for their clients. Led by CEO and founder Donnie Hyatt, along with a team positioned around the globe in places like Florida, Georgia, New York, Washington, Colorado, Utah, Virginia, Louisiana, Indiana, France, and even more places, Paradigm brings the most up-to-date, on-demand access and attention to their clients' needs, allowing them to achieve the most innovative, up-to-date success with all their projects. You can find more at pdc.technology or at paradigmdevelopment.net. We're happy to have them on board. They're actually sponsoring a few races this year, James. And now we're getting closer to the end of qualifying. It looks like Mark Jackson in that 3 has still got the fastest time. We got some other guys that have been running fast. You were mentioning Gerald Campbell might get the pole. He must have had a little bit of issue on his qualifying laps. He's right now in 11th position.
Yeah, like I said, these times are tight. I mean, he's sitting in 11th, but the difference between him and the pole time is 600ths of a second. That tells you how close these guys here on this big 1.5-mile quad oval here.
Yeah, James, you've driven this track many times. Give us a little bit of background on the track and what we can expect the drivers to have to be able to be successful at if they want to bring home the checkered flag tonight.
Well, just like every other place we go to tour the season, you know, tires is what wins races, Robert. You know, you gotta maintain your stuff, maintain your tires. We'll be going 133 laps tonight. One of the big problem areas in this track, and one of the good things the guys do a little too often, especially later in the run, is they coming off the corner with little too much wheel in it, coming off 2 or off 4, and looping that car around. So got to be real cautious on exit at 2 and 4. Keep it on the black stuff, keep it moving forward, and get a decent finish.
Thanks a lot, James. Looks like qualifying is over. We're going to go to the grid here in just a minute. Obviously, Mark Jackson had a good run. some other guys that are all usually pretty fast that haven't quite got the kind of qualifying run they wanted to get tonight. I know for sure, like you said, Gerald Campbell, Kyle Sharpentier in that 003. He's always fast. He's starting back in 12th. I'm going to go through the grid right now. Actually, if you go through the first 15, James, I'll go through the other ones.
Sure. So on the pole in the number 3, we got Mark Jackson with a time of 28.135. On his outside, we got the 56 of Josh Bonwell. Starting in the second row on the inside is the 81 of Shane Parrish. Starting fourth, the 17 of Gary Sexton. Starting fifth in the number 19 machine is Tim Cox. And to his outside in sixth is Curtis Young in the 94. Judd Danielson will be starting in seventh in his 85 Domino's Pizza car. And Justin Lee will be starting eighth in the 32. The 23 of Donald Sadusky will be starting ninth, with William Davis alongside, starting in 10th in the 011. Number 35, Gerald Campbell, will be starting 11th. And number 003, Kyle Sharpentier, will be starting in 12th. Jeremy Crandall will be starting at 13th in the 73 car. And Andy Kessler, the birthday boy, will be starting 14th in the 98. Jeff Martin will be starting in the number 15 from the 15th position. And the rest are on to you, Robert.
Yes, sir. Starting 16th tonight, we do have Jack Watts, 17th on his outside, Gerald Heffley in the 28. 18th, we have Mark McFadden. 19th, we have Kevin Fetty. I think this is his first Xfinity race with us this year. He's an excellent driver. Ray Richer will be starting 20th. Ricky Lake 21st. James Sonke in the number 1 machine will be starting 22nd. 23rd will be Michael Lawler. 24th will be Jeffrey Ford, Eric Stanford 25th. I'm going to run through these a little quick because we're getting ready to go green. Following him will be Craig Learman, Russ Coe, Chad Payne, Charles Merrow, another talented driver. The pace car is in. You take the start for us there, James.
That's great. We got Mark Jackson got a great jump here on the start. We've got Bonwell dropping in right behind him. Just getting to the rear bumper entering 1 as they go through 2. We got your first 2 out, single file, and pretty much double file from there on back.
Yes, sir, James. Like I said, you've driven this track many, many times. Is the fast way around here on brand new tires the low lane or the upper lane with the kind of weather conditions we have? It's pretty overcast. There's no rain tonight. Hopefully, we can get the whole race in. But which line would you prefer?
I mean, right now here early in the race, you gotta keep it in the bottom lane. I mean, unless you want to get freight trained to the back. You can see the 94 Curtis Young. Good driver there, hung up on the outside lane. He's going straight back now. However, later in the race, that's going to pay off for him. When these guys start burning him up and they start handling real bad, he'll still have tires left to come right up to the front.
So once the tires do get worn a little bit, you're thinking all the cars might drift up to the high lane?
Yeah, I think that. I mean, it's a funny place. If you can hook that white line on the bottom, I mean, the car will turn for you. It'll rotate real nice. You just got to be, like I said, careful on exits. A little too much wheel, a little too much hook will get you in trouble here real quick.
So in these Xfinity cars, how many laps would you say these drivers on these first brand new tires can go wide open all the way around? Or are they going to have to lift on the first few laps already?
Well, you're going to have guys out there that are just flat out all the way around trying to get all they can here. I tend to burp it a little, even from the beginning of the run, maintain those tires a little bit. But these guys will go 6, 7, 8 laps before they have to really start breathing it. Yeah, that's the way you do it around here.
Thanks very much, James. It does look like behind Mark Jackson, they're single file. Josh Bonwell in the 56 is running second, although he is definitely getting some heat right now from Shane Parrish in the number 81. In fourth, behind him, we have got Tim B. Cox. He started in fifth. He's already moved up a spot. And Gary Sexton started fourth, has moved back a spot into fifth in that 17 Paradigm Technology sponsored car. Donald Sadusky is another newer driver to our league. He started 9th. He's up to 6th, having a great run so far in the early stages. Judd Danielson, right where he started in 7th. Curtis Young has moved back to 8th after starting 6th. 9th, Gerald Campbell. He's moved up a couple spots already. And Dustin Lee started 8th. He's fallen back to 10th so far after about 6 laps.
Yeah, like you see, Robert, these guys are all still playing pretty close. You got a second separating the top 7 drivers so far. I think these guys will get settled down, get in line here, hopefully turn some green flag laps, and get geared up towards our first. Oh, and I'm hearing a report of a car in the grass, Robert. You got an eye on that?
Yes, I'm looking now. And we're staying green. He's having trouble on the apron. Looks like the 24 machine of Eric Stanford. He locks it up. He gets it slowed down. We are staying green. He went through the grass and was able to maintain control. He might have just barely grazed the inside wall at the very end of pit road. He is rolling again, but that's going to drop him all the way back.
Oh yeah, he's moving slowly here. I got an eye on him now. The car looks okay so far, so let's see if he can pick up the pieces, gather himself back up, and come back to the front.
Yes, that might end up being a benefit for him if he didn't sustain any damage. He might have to pit early, or he might be able to stretch his fuel just a couple of laps longer with that slide through the grass, and hopefully he didn't damage the tires too bad. Another thing I want to mention to you fans, here at the Domino's TYJ Racing League, every Wednesday, every Thursday night, we do what we call the free pizza giveaway. You pick the winner, and you earn a free pizza dinner. How that works, fans, whether you're watching and you want to text your pick in the race chat, or you can text me personally, 919-883-7497. We do give away a large 3-topping Domino's pizza, carry-out only, to your hometown anywhere in the United States of America. So before halfway, which is tonight's going to be lap 67, make sure you get your picks in. You might want to wait a while, and we'll give an update later into the race who wins their pizza. We gave one away last night. James, we've given away about 16 different ones over the last 18, 19 weeks, and we love doing it.
Yeah, I'm sure those people appreciate those pizzas. I'm going to have to see if maybe one of these nights when I'm running, I get my wife to come in and watch the race and put in a vote for me. Get a double winner out of it.
Yes, sir, James. I did forget to mention, if you are a member of the league, you cannot win the free pizza. And if you're an employee of Domino's Pizza, you cannot win the free pizza. Up front, how's it looking?
Oh, we got Mark Jackson really stretching it out now. He's out to about a half a second lead now over Josh Bonwell just got passed by Tim Cox there. So got a change in second. I don't know if he lost momentum there or maybe he touched the wall, but gave Mark Jackson a huge advantage. And here comes, oh my goodness, here comes Shane Parrish up to second.
And how they looking behind him?
I got Donald Sadusky following him through and Gary Sexton. And Tim Cox falls all the way back right now to 5th. Falling back in line. Behind him we've got Curtis Young in 6th, Gerald Campbell in 7th, Judd Danielson in 8th, and a little bit of gap behind them now to Dustin Lee and William Davis. Looking out front now, Mark Jackson is out to almost a second lead. He's way out in front.
Yes, he might be using his equipment up early in this run. We have gone green for the first 13 laps here. I'm looking for some big movers so far in the race. Looks like the biggest mover I can see, Donald Sadusky, started in 9th. He's in that 23 machine. He's all the way up to 3rd place. He's having a great run.
I'm looking down here. I don't have any real big movers. I got one that went back a ways. Is Jeff Martin started 15th. He's all the way back in 29th. I don't know if that's a move to conserve here or if he had an issue. And Josh Bonwell, who started 2nd, is all the way back in 32nd, a lap down. He must have brushed the wall there.
Yeah, he brushed the wall and got some damage and was having some electrical problems. They might have had to switch boxes on the inside of that car to the B box or something. They were on pit road trying to get him maybe even a new battery in it. Hopefully he's got that squared away.
Yeah, taking a look back out front here, Robert. I got Donald Sadusky is up to 2nd now. He got around Shane Parrish. And closing in on the leader. He's got him down to half a second now.
Yes, let's get a good look at that. He is in that Ryan Sadusky, number 23 Camaro. In loving memory of Ryan Sadusky, which I think is his son. We definitely look to see great paint jobs and love seeing drivers. Donald giving honor to his son, who unfortunately passed away quite a while back. But we're happy he's in the race, and he is definitely putting on a good show, moving all the way up to the second position. And he might be giving Mark Jackson something to think about. Right now, he's right on his back bumper, looking on the inside as they're going down the back stretch. Looks like Mark Jackson might give him the inside lane. I don't know, James, if he'll be able to clear him going into turn 3 and 4, but he's definitely going to try.
Yeah, he's down there right on the white line. Mark's going to try and get that run off the top, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold him off. He's just coming too quick here. Shane Parrish sitting right behind him, just waiting to pounce should anything happen.
Yeah, Shane Parrish is one of our newer drivers. Matter of fact, he qualified to a tryout race a week ago. Had his first official points race last night in our Den Fender Truck Series. He took home the trophy. Shocked a lot of people, shocked a lot of fans, and one person picked him for the free pizza. And we're happy to see him here tonight having a great run again.
Yeah, he ran a very smart race last night, and got the fortune of in the cautions when he needed them and being in the right spot at the right time. But at the end, he was just dominant. He walked away, and interestingly enough, Mark Jackson, right in front of him in the 3-car, was also a newcomer last night. I believe he came home in either second or third. Was it?
That is true. I think he came in second or third. Either way, he's had a great run last night. It was second place from my hearing from my technical advisor on the other end. We're going to go ahead and go through the field real quick while we're having this wonderful green flag run. In 4th position, we do have Gary Sexton. Looks like Gary started in 4th, and he is running in 4th in that Camaro. Yeah, he's probably just taking care of his equipment. Go ahead, yeah.
Pass here for second. We got Shane Parrish back up to second. Mark got a little high over in turns 1 and 2, and he got underneath him.
Great move. Yeah, Mark was driving that number 3 pretty hard on the first, 15, 18 laps. It wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't lose another few more positions.
Sure. So moving back from Gary Sexton, you got Tim Cox in 5th, Curtis Young in 6th, Gerald Campbell is sitting in 7th, Judd Danielson in 8th, Kyle Charpentier in 9th, William Davis in 10th, Jack Watson 11th, and Jeremy Crandall in 12th.
Thank you, James. We also have the new driver, Kevin Fetty, making his first appearance this season, 2017, in our Premier Xfinity League. He is running 13th tonight in his Camaro. We got Andrew Kessler, which, by the way, happens to be his birthday today, I heard through the grapevine. Congratulations to Andy. I'm not sure if he turned 21, 31, 41, or 51, but it's something with the 1 on the end of it, I think. He's having a great run in the Chef Andy's Ford, the 98 Ford Mustang GT. Behind him, we got Mark McFadden in the 67, also in the Mustang GT. He's running in 15th position. 16th, we do have Jeffrey Ford. He's in that 95 Mustang GT. I love the Mustangs. Dustin Lee is in the over-the-top Southeast Motorsports 32 Camaro. He's running in 17th. I think he's just biding his time for later in the race. So he's got all his equipment, all his fenders in good shape, so he can get a really top 3 finish. He's had a lot of those so far this year. Behind it, we have Ray Richter, sorry about that, in 18th in the 44 American Racing. Real quick, 19th is Gerald Heffley in the Kodak Camaro. And in 20th, we have another new driver, Charles Morrow, Charles. He's in the 63. Go ahead, James.
No, I was just going to say we had a big move for the lead up here. We got Shane Parrish up the 1st, Mark Jackson the 2nd, and Donald Sadusky back to 3rd. So a little bit of dicing up in the front. You know, you think a guy's falling off, and he comes right back up. So real interesting stuff up here.
Yes, we love to see this competition up front. We love to see the battles further back in the pack. But that is definitely, we've had the lead swap 2-3 times now already in the first 25 laps. How far do you think these Xfinity cars will be able to go on the tank of fuel that we allow them for these races, James?
You know, I didn't get a good look at them during practice, but I'm going to imagine they're going to go somewhere between 35 to 40 laps, possibly a little more depending on the draft. So we're looking at probably a minimum of 3 stops for these guys if we go green the whole way.
Very good. Yes, these guys are putting on a whale of a show so far tonight. I'm going to look a little bit further back in the field and see who else has made a lot of headway. And you keep an eye on the leaders. It looks like we do have Judd Danielson and Curtis Young are side by side for that 5th and 6th position. These two drivers are veteran drivers. They've been in the Dominance 2IJ Racing League since its inception in 2016. They both had great runs all last year and this year. Judd is having a couple of issues. He's had a couple of really difficult races, but he's keeping us cool tonight, and he is looking really good in that 85 machine up to 6th position. I know those two guys are going to race each other clean all night long, and now it looks like Curtis Young is getting some pressure as Will Davis passes him underneath for that 8th position. Will's in that 011 car tonight, so that will drop Curtis Young back to 9th. And back in 10th, it looks like we do have Kyle Charpentier. He's just having a clean, solid race tonight.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at these times, Robert. These guys are down a little over a second in lap time with the fall off now, 1.2, 1.3 seconds. As I'm watching Donald Sadusky falling back now, he fell into the clutches of Gary Sexton, and Tim Cox is having a look underneath him going into 1. And looks like he'll clear him here. But these guys are all at the point where the tires are really hitting the cliff, really falling off. This is where you're going to see the guys who do their stuff a little bit better start coming forward.
Yes, thanks, James. I'm noticing some other drivers making some moves. It looks like Kyle Charpentier in 10th is about to make a pass on Curtis Young. Curtis Young did just get passed by Gerald Campbell in that 35 Mustang GT. Gerald started back in 11th. He's gained 3 positions, and I'm hearing on the radio that we're already having some takers on pit road. I think the 94 is coming down this time.
Yeah, he was falling off real bad there. You can see he lost about 4 or 5 spots there in a couple of laps. So he hit the wall with his tires. Decided now's the time to go before he loses too much time out there on track.
Yes, sir, James. I'm following him down pit road. Curtis Young in the 94 Camaro. He's pulling into his pit box, nice and smooth. Looks like the right side's going up. He's getting 2 right side fresh tires, and there's 1 can of Sunoco fuel in. The left side looks like it's going up. He's going to get a full 4 tire change today and 2 cans of Sunoco racing fuel. He's out of his pit box. This is kind of a strategy call. It might be a tad early, but as much as these tires wear, this might be a great thing to short pit, as we call it, and maybe gain an advantage on some of the drivers. But right now, Curtis does not. He does not want the caution to come out. He wants to maintain and have the whole pit cycle go through with all 34 drivers, 35 drivers we got in the field tonight. That way, he will get the benefit of those new tires here the first 5-10 laps.
Yeah, and I'm seeing here just leaving pit road, we had Chad Payne was another taker for an early pit here. So he's actually just been passed by the leaders as I'm watching Shane Parrish stretches out his lead out to just over a second over Mark Jackson. And then we're almost a second and a half, almost 1.7 seconds back to the 3rd place car of Gary Sexton.
Yes, I did notice Kyle Charpentier in that 003 just made his pit stop in the Toyota Camry. Sounds like the 14 of Gary Weston is taking a pit stop here, so it's almost monkey see, monkey do. These are some smart drivers. They know that once a driver or two on the lead lap comes in and gets some fresh rubber, they're going to be losing valuable time every time they make one more circuit around this Texas Motor Speedway. So I predict pit road is going to be a very busy place here in just a minute.
Yeah, it kind of gets to, you want to get out there and hold on for as long as you can. But once you get a couple of cars coming, you just can't afford to lose the time. I mean, they're down at this point over a second and a half a lap. So that's real tough to make up if you stay out there too long.
Yes, I'm looking right now. Dustin Lee in that 32 machine is trying to make a move on Gerald Heffley in the 28. Both of these drivers have stayed out, and the 003 almost gets into the 28 with those fresh tires. They're 3 wide coming off of turn 2. Looks like they maintain it. And the 003 is making up as much time as he can with those new tires as the 28 of Gerald Heffley. It sounds like he's coming down pit road right now in that Kodak-sponsored Camaro. He gets a little sideways on the entrance to pit road, locks him down again. Hopefully he get down to pit road speed so he does not get a penalty. Got all kind of Xfinity cars on pit road right now. I'm going to follow the 28 of Gerald Heffley and see what he does on pit road. He slides into his pit box. Nice and clean. Looks like he's going to probably have another 4-tire pit stop. At this point, James, you recommend everybody, after 35 laps on the car, on the tires, they definitely want 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles, right?
Four fresh Goodyear Eagles make you feel like Superman. And we got a wreck on the backstretch. A couple of cars getting together back there. I'll take a look at this.
Yeah, we'll get the replay pulled up here in just a minute, fans.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Chad Payne in the 9 and Michael Lawler in the 93. Looks like they came together there.
Yes,
now,
the 9. Go ahead.
This is the flip side of pit strategy and coming in to get tires early. Actually, I got caught out by this last night. All those guys that now pitted are now trapped a lap down. And, your leaders out in front will pit now, but those guys are going to wind up, getting away by going behind them. And they're going to be on older tires while the leaders are back out in front on fresh ones. So.
Yes, sir. The 9 of Chad Payne and his Mustang GT and the 93 Toyota Camry got together going down the backstretch. Looks like they kind of came together. I'm not sure how many more cars were involved in that, but they're definitely going to have to come down the road and get the hammers out, the bare bond, and get some damage fixed. And this is going to put our leader sitting pretty as he stayed out at that point, so he's going to be able to make his pit stop under caution as well as a few other drivers.
Yeah, he'll wind up right back out front again with fresh tires. He'll be in the best position for sure.
And I'm assuming everybody who hasn't made a pit stop yet, they're going to be making their way down pit road. If you can cover some of those pit stops, if you've got your eye on it, because Chad Payne has definitely got some smoke coming out of the back of his Mustang GT. He'll be sitting on pit road for quite a while.
Yeah, I'm just watching here. We got the 3 of Mark Jackson in. I see the 85 of Judd Danielson. I see the 35 of Gerald Campbell. The 32 of Dustin Lee. The 73. I mean, they're all coming. Jack Watt's coming in. See Jeffrey Ford going out. So far, it looks like everyone's taken 4. No 2-tire heroes in this bunch.
Yeah, you don't want to. The smart move is you're about to say, correct?
Correct. Yeah, smart move early in the race.
A little bit later in the race, if you've got a caution with 10, 5, 8, 15 laps to go, that's where you might see somebody take a gamble and just get 2, or even stay out. But we'll have to wait and see how that strategy unfolds. Again, fans, I do want to mention to you, we are doing our free pizza giveaway again. We already have some people who have picked for tonight's winner. All you have to do is text 919-883-7497. Make your pick of who you think is going to win this race before lap 67. You got about 28 laps before that point, and you could be the new winner tonight of a free 3-topping large pizza from your local Domino's store, carry out only. So real quick, James, the guys that already pitted, were they able to get back on the lead lap, or if some of them trapped a lap down, have to take the wave around?
It looks like most of these guys are making their way back. I'll wait for things to cycle through here, but so far it looks like they're all pretty much able to get back on the lead lap here. Right now I'm showing a couple of guys 2 laps down, 3 laps down. Those are all the guys that were involved in incidents. It looks like I think Jeff Martin, Donald Stewart, Gary Weston all took the wave around there, so they should make it up to the lead lap. I'm also noticing, I'm taking a look on pit road here, I got the 66 of Jack Watts with a prolonged stop here. Bunch of damage on the left front, and I didn't see what happened. Maybe he did get caught up in that last incident on the backstretch.
Yes, he might have. It probably collected more than just the 2 cars we mentioned. Again, fans, I do want to mention our sponsor one more time. You are watching the Paradigm Technology 200. A couple more things about Paradigm Technology. Like we said, they're headquartered out of Atlanta, Georgia. Gary 6 of tonight, the 17, is the car with that main sponsor on it tonight. Paradigm Technology app sharing program works like this, fans. Paradigm Technology hates seeing ideas go to waste, which is why they offer an app sharing program so that those without the means to fund an app development initiative can share their ideas safely with an enforceable non-disclosure contract in place, of course, with a Paradigm specialist. These specialists will work with you to get your ideas out there. If they find merit in the idea you have, they'll defer all development costs until after your app starts generating revenue, so you won't be losing any money up front at all in the name of innovation. So make sure you visit paradigmdevelopment.net and get more information on this great company. We're definitely happy with all the sponsors we've got and have them on board tonight.
Absolutely, that's what makes the merry-go-round go round, doesn't it?
Yep, looks like they're doubled up for the restart here.
Yeah,
and
we've got,
go Go ahead.
Got Shane Parrish back out on front on fresh tires, right where he wants to be. Mark Jackson alongside him. We've got looks like Judd Danielson with a big move in the pits up to third. Big move for Judd. And Gerald Campbell up to 4. It looks like pace car is about to pull off here, Robert.
Yeah, sounds good. The pace car is going to pull off, and like we've said, leader gets to go as soon as that pace car hits pit road, which he's doing right now. And Shane gets another great launch.
Another great jump.
That is the advantage of being the leader. The number 3 of Mark Jackson pulls down right behind him after the start-finish line. And that'll be right in front of Judd Danielson, that 85 Domino's TYJ Racing sponsored car. And behind him looks like we've got Gerald Campbell's moved his way all the way up to 4th, it looks like, for that restart. And they're screaming down the backstretch going into turn 3 and 4. We'll see if these cars can make any moves with these new tires.
Yeah, I'm taking a look now. I see Judd slid up a little bit, and we got Gerald Campbell underneath him, challenging for 3rd. Not quite sure if he'll clear him going into 1. Jeffrey Ford in 5th, and Jeremy Crandall battling behind him. Jeffrey Ford sticking his nose up under Judd Danielson, looking for 4th as they come down the backstretch.
Yes, hopefully Judd gives him plenty of room. I know Judd is a veteran driver. These first few laps of this run, I would not be surprised if he's saving some of his tires, some of his equipment, because he knows we just had a very long ringside run. To begin the race, we might have another one now. This is going to benefit him 20, 25 laps from now. When these drivers have worn out their tires, he'll be able to pass them all, hopefully back in about 20 laps from now.
Yeah, that's what it looked like he did the first run. He kind of fell back and waited a little bit, and you saw at the end of the run he was picking them off one by one. Not sure if he's got quite the speed to keep up with our front runners, but you know, he's a cagey veteran. You never know.
Yes, a little bit further back in the field while you're watching the leaders, our first side-by-side battles between Eric Stanford and that 24 Mustang GT. He is making a move around Gary Sexton. It looks like he makes that pass clean. That'll put Gary Sexton back in 9th. Again, I'm predicting Gary Sexton is staving his tires because he restarted up there a little bit closer.
Yeah, and as you're watching back there, I mean, I just had a pass up here for 6th. Charles Morrow got underneath Judd Danielson for 6th. He's being challenged right now by Ray Richer, and caution's out.
Yes, we will get that replay pulled up in just a minute, fans. While we're doing that, remember to get your picks in. You definitely got time now to make a solid, educated pick.
Wow.
What'd you see on that caution?
You know, I don't know, but I definitely missed something up here in the front because our leader, Shane Parrish, is now sitting in 3rd behind Mark Jackson and Gerald Campbell. Not quite sure what happened there.
I think it was the 420 was involved.
It'd be Russ Coe.
And perhaps the 18 of Mark Fravor. The 94 and the 420. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm pulling this up and looking at the replay closely here. It does look like the 94 of Curtis Young. Yeah, it looks like the 94 slowed down a little bit. He got into the wall, and that slowed his momentum. The 420 had nowhere to go and piled right into the back of him.
Yeah, I'm just getting my eyeballs. Actually, the 32 got loose in front of the 94, and 94 tried to get up and around and wound up in the wall, and it just kind of compounded from there. Oh, I got the 67, the 003 involved.
Yes, right across the front stretch. Yeah, big carnage here. Those guys are going to be on pit road for quite a while getting that damage repaired. On that note, fans, we are going to take our first real quick commercial break. Again, you are watching the Paradigm Technology 200 live on All-Through Broadcasting. Paradigm Technology out of Atlanta, Georgia. We will be right back, fans.
Smithley, driver the number 0, JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
Welcome back, race fans. We're about ready for the restart here at the Texas Motor Speedway. We're going to do a new feature. It's called Crank It Up. So we're going to let this restart occur and let you fans see, hear, and experience the excitement of a restart here at Texas. The pace car is in. And we'll be quiet and let you experience this. Thanks. Alright fans, I know you enjoyed that. That is an awesome feature we're doing here thanks to Michael D'Amico and All Pro Broadcasting. James, we had some a leader change up front after those pit stops.
Well, actually, Mark Jackson had taken the lead right before the caution there, but what did happen is he decided to stay out with 5 or 6 lap-old tires, and everyone else pitted. So right now he's out front, but he's more or less a sitting duck here. He knows he's got all these guys on fresh tires just waiting to gobble them up. Loneliest feeling in the world when they all go after you don't.
Yes, James, thanks very much for that update. Yes, this tire is one of the older surfaces on the circuit, and so you're definitely going to have some age on your tires. Even with 5 laps on them, he did get a great restart. Mark Jackson into that 3, but the crowd behind him is catching him quick.
Yeah, and as you're speaking there, Robert, Gerald Campbell got under Shane Parrish for 3rd place there, and he's now being challenged by Jeffrey Ford for 4th.
Thanks, James. One thing I noticed last night in our Dented Fender Truck Series race, Shane Parrish being one of the newest drivers who has qualified for our league, he won that race last night, and he did it with strategy and saving his equipment. He was not running up front for most of the race. Near the end of the race, he had enough tire left because he saved it in the first 5, 10, 15 laps of a run that he was able to get the lead. We had a few late race cautions. He was able to stay out and win his first race. So that's probably what he's doing tonight.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job last night. And at the end there, I mean, I talked to him after the race. He said he basically, once the green flew, he says, I was just going to burn them up, and if it made it, it made it. If it didn't, it didn't. But I was going to get everything I could out of those tires.
Yeah, thanks, James. We'd love to get a commentary from drivers like that to know exactly how they're mastering a race and how they're able to beat a field of such talented drivers like he did last night. Right now, back to the action. We do have Judd Danielson getting some pressure, getting past. Right now on the inside, looks like Mark Fravert is making a move on him. Excuse me, that was actually Donald Sadusky in the 23 Mustang gets around Judd Danielson. Up front, though, they're still strung out single file. But we did just have a pass for second place, looks like. Gerald Campbell got around Tim B. Cox.
Yes, he did. He's coming fast. Also out in front of our leaders here, we've got the 78 of Donald Stewart hanging on to the tail end of the lead lap here. he's actually been maintaining his gap from the leader. Might be something to look for later in the race. He might have a little more than he's been showing all night.
Yes, Donald Stewart in that 78 Haviland Camaro is having a great run. He is all the way back in 27th, but he appears to have almost as much speed as our leader, Mark Jackson. He's definitely staying in front of him. You finding any other interesting battles mid-pack?
Yeah, looking back through the field here, they all seem to be pretty well single file and strung out. Got a reasonable pack back here. Back around Kevin Fetty in the 15th position. He's in William Davis, Andrew Kessler, Gerald Heffrey, and Craig Lerman sandwich here. The 5 of them are nose to tail as they come out of 4.
Yes, James, I'm watching Andy Kessler in that Aegis orange Mustang GT. He's definitely getting some pressure on the low side by Kevin Fetty in that Camaro. They're both giving each other plenty of room. We've had a really clean race so far, and right when I said it, I jinxed us. Unfortunately, the caution is out. We will get that replay pulled up here in just a minute.
Just taking a look back through the field here, and it looks to me like that might have involved the 78 car here. Running for his life. Oh, he loses it going in the corner. He loses the rear end. That's an odd place to lose it right there.
Yeah, that can happen. I don't know if he was out there on a little bit older tires or not.
I know he had just recently taken a wave around to get to the lead lap, so he could have been out there on older tires, but that to me looked like a blown tire the way the rear of that car came around. It should be pretty secure on entry there. Normally exit here where you got to worry about it.
Yes, I just see the replay. It looks like the telltale sign of a right rear or even a left rear going down as we see that replay. And he hit the outside wall pretty hard there. Got some pretty significant damage. He was very smart in holding the car up on the top groove once he did come to a complete stop. Let these other drivers get by him safely so we'd only have a one-car incident. I definitely give him a big thumbs up for that smart move to hold his car up there.
Absolutely. He did the whole field a favor. I'm watching everybody come down pit road. This is...
Yeah, I definitely figured everybody coming for tires now. And I want to mention one more time, fans, to get your picks in for the free large 3-topping pizza. Some of the picks we've already got. Eric Stanford has been picked. Looks like Mark Jackson's been picked. Tim B. Cox has been picked. Kyle Charpentier has been picked. Quite a few drivers I'm looking over here on the text, on the race chat. Again, we do appreciate our fans. You got about 4 more laps to get your pick in. I think we might go green with one more lap before 67, so you can still get a pick in and will not be too late.
Yeah, and I'm just looking here. Ricky Lake in the 7 car stayed out here. He was being scored in the 7th position. He's out front now, so we finally got our first strategy play here.
Yeah, he may be doing that to get a bonus point. I know in the truck race last night he stayed out to leave 1 lap or 2, which is valuable to get a point. Obviously, we have winning your in all 3 of our series, which are the Den Defender Truck Top Shelf Cup and the league series you're watching tonight, which is the Premier Xfinity. So if you lead a lap, you get a bonus point that can help you have enough points accrued before the chase starts to make it into the chase.
Yeah, I see that. But no, he's stayed out here. He's definitely make a move to stay out front and probably go for it. Be real interesting to see how he holds on to it, whether he has enough tire here on the start after them cooling down, or whether he's off the pace right from the get-go here.
Yes, I'm hearing commentary on the race chatter with his team. And Spotter, he's debating whether to come down. He's got a tire he thinks is going low on him, so he might make his way on down here on pit road because he did get that bonus point for leading the lap.
10-4. I'm just looking back through the field here. We've got a couple of faces have been up here for a while, but a couple of new faces poking their way up forward here. Jeffrey Ford running up here, currently scored in the 5th position, possibly 4th if Ricky comes to the pits here. He started this race in 24th. He's made a major move. Charles Morrow, who started 29th, all the way up to 8th. Ray Richter, who started 20th, all the way to 9th. And then even going as back as 14th, Mark Fravert, who started on the tail end of this field in 34th, is all the way up to 14th. So some big movers here coming through the field.
Yes, that is the name of the game. If you can do a smart strategy call, avoid any of the incidents on track cautions, and be a big gainer, we're almost halfway through with the race here, and you want to set yourself up for a great second half. So this restart is going to be very interesting. We do have Ricky Lake staying out. Hopefully that tire's got plenty of air in it. They decided to stay out for the restart, but he's probably going to have a lot of company getting around him when they go back green here in just a minute.
Oh yeah, this is what separates the men's from the boys right here. Let's see how they all handle this. I'm hoping they all navigate this well, and we keep this thing green here for a bit.
Yes, I was just noticing we still have 23 drivers on the lead lap. Last driver will be James Sonke in the number 1. We got one driver 1 lap down. Gary West and Russ Coe is 2 laps down, so these guys can get back in it if they get their lucky dog here the next few laps. So as the pace car gets ready to pull down pit road, he makes that hard left turn, and Ricky Lake dictates the start of this race, and he holds him way up.
He holds him way up, and he beat him to the start finish.
Wow, that's going to be debatable.
Now the question is, did he go before the leader, or was the green flag being thrown by the flag stand? Either way, he gives it back up to the 7, who clears him coming off of turn 2. Now we got Gerald Campbell looking low, sticking his nose underneath Ricky Lake. He'll clear him easily, come off 4, and Jeremy Crandall coming right behind him.
Yeah, so it looks like Gerald Campbell will get the lead for that lap. Great move on his part. And the 7, I'm afraid, of Ricky Lake is going to be a sitting duck, as these cars are going to make their way around him on the high side, the low side, any way they can get around him.
Yeah,
there's a 3 wide right now on the backstretch. Sorry about that, yeah.
Backstretch, yeah. We got the 23, 3, and 7. Sadusky, Jackson, and Lake. The 3 thinks better of it, tucks down low as Ricky Lake continues his trip backwards through the field.
Yes, that definitely worked itself out pretty well. These drivers are getting strung out single file. Looks like the next closest battle side by side we've got on the track, the 98 of Andy Kessler is trying to make a move on the 17 of Gary Sexton going down the back stretch. It looks like Andy Kessler's got the inside lane. He's going to drive it in there deep, and he looks like he is going to make that pass. Hopefully be able to clear him coming off of turn 4. And Gary Sexton will lose another position.
Yeah, he clears him easily there, and continues his march to the front. As we see, Gary loses another position there as well too. Get a look at that car number there.
Yes, and back up front, don't look now. We have got Gerald Campbell getting some serious heat from Jeremy Crandall. Jeremy's in that 73. He's one of our drivers who is always running up front. Sometimes he has good luck, sometimes he has bad luck. That's racing, ladies and gentlemen and fans. But he's definitely given some competition to Gerald Campbell. He might be able to make a pass here in just a few more laps.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. I just got the halfway signal from the crews, so that means time is up to select your driver for that free Domino's pizza.
That is true. We got one.
I see one on the apron. Is he coming up the track? Oh, he keeps it down. That looks like, is that Shane Parrish? One of our previous leaders of this race.
Yeah, I'm going to back that up just a minute. He definitely had some issues there on that 81. Looks like all by himself. He gets in the corner, maybe drives it a little too hot. Almost gets hit by Donald Sadusky, who gets around him. Good job of him keeping it down on the apron. Of course, once you get down there on the apron, that's fine. He gets the marbles on his tires. James is going to take him at least 1, maybe 2 laps to get the marbles off.
Oh yeah, once you lose momentum here, you're dead too. So he's got to gather it back up. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage, but perhaps not too bad. He's a good driver. Maybe you get that fixed here on a later pit stop and continue a charge towards the front. We got a battle for the lead here. Jeremy Crandall looking under Gerald Campbell, coming off of turn 4. They cross the start-finish line nearly together. as they charge into one.
Yes, that's the best battle on the track right now.
And it comes off two. He didn't quite clear them. They almost got together there, but better heads prevailed. And they charge down into turn 3.
Looks like he's able to maybe get a car length in front of him as he crosses the start-finish line a second time. Jeremy Crandall will get credited for leading that lap here on lap number 73.
But you know what I'm looking at here is it looks like as Jeremy pulls out in front of Gerald there, Gerald's able to hang with him pretty well on the high side there. Could it be that this groove is moving up as we get rubbered in on the bottom?
That is an excellent point, James, and that is probably exactly what's happening here. These drivers have put down 73 laps of race condition rubber. They also put down a couple hours of practice rubber on this track today. If the sun was out earlier baking the rubber down on the track, it is overcast now, but I think you're right. The outside lane is coming in now, and that's going to mean options for these drivers as far as making moves later in this race.
Oh yeah, and just as you say that, I see the 73 of Jeremy Crandall trying out that high line coming at him too there, just to get a feel for it, see if there's more grip up there. That's a smart move right there. Feel it out while you got a little bit of a gap.
Yes, while you keep an eye on the front. Looks like Mark Jackson is right behind the 23 of Donald Sadusky. That battle's cooled off now for a minute. I'm kind of going to take an opportunity to go through the field a little bit more. I'm going to drop us back to 7th position. We've got Jeff T. Martin in that ATopGamers.com Camaro, the 15. Good looking car there. He's running in 7th. Behind him we have Mark Fravor. He's in position 8 in the 18. And fans, you probably heard me say this. We have got two brothers that race in our league, Mark and Michael Fravor. They race competitively. They race hard. They had a top 3 finish, both of them a couple races back. So when they get side by side, if they've got to rough each other up a little bit, trade some paint to get the win, they will do it. In 9th position, we have got Charles Morrow. Like you said, he started way back in the pack in his Toyota Camry, the 63. Behind him, we have Tim B. Cox with a little bit of right rear fender damage in his Cross-Continent Racing Camaro. He obviously got some damages. Now he's getting passed by Judd Danielson at 85, who also has a tad of rear end damage. Behind him, we have, looks like Eric Stanford in the 24. He spun earlier in the race in that Ford Mustang GT, the 24, but he's going to be able to make a pass on the 19 as well. That's an esbilliards.com Mustang GT Eric's driving tonight.
And taking a look up front here, Robert, Gerald Campbell got a huge run coming off too as he throws it under Jeremy Crandall, looking for the lead. They come off 4 now. Lap traffic may come into play. They both clear him, and Jeremy Crandall maintains the lead that lap, with Gerald Campbell still sticking a nose underneath him as they go into 1.
Yes, thanks for that update.
We
definitely want to keep up with the battles up front.
The back spread.
Like I said, this is some of the best racing on the track right now. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I've got Jeffrey Ford poking his nose into this. So we've got our top 3 here within about a car and a half of each other. All of them go at it as they go into 1.
Yes, I think the 95 of Jeffrey Ford might have saved a little bit of tire in the beginning of this run, as he and Gerald Campbell are both going to make a move, hopefully to get around the 73 of Gerald Campbell, as they have lap traffic in front of them going into 3.
Yeah, it looks like Gerald's probably going to clear him coming off the corner. It's real tight, and he might use this lapper up here as a little bit of a pick. Oh, they almost made contact. Whew, that was close.
They keep it clean, and they keep racing.
And look, this pulls the 23 of Donaldson Sadusky and the number 3 of Mark Jackson right into this battle.
So we're about to have a 5-car battle for the lead. It looks like Jeffrey Ford had to get out of it a little bit there. Going to let those 4 work together and try to get as close to Gerald Campbell as they can, as the Donald Sadusky in that 23 completes the pass on Jeffrey Ford.
Yeah, it looked like Donald didn't get the memo about working together there. He stuck his nose right under there, and now he's being passed by Mark Jackson as he pushes up slightly. And Jeffrey Ford gets a nose under Donald Stadusky. They're 2 by 2 behind the leader, who's got a half second on the 4 of them.
Yes, James, you spent a lot of time in this Xfinity car. Do you have to keep the momentum up in these cars similar to the trucks, or you lose a lot of time? In other words, if you have to get out of the gas for just a second or two, does that really, really hurt your lap time?
Oh, yeah, it hurts. These cars are all about momentum. I mean, even cranking a little too much wheel will just bog these things right down. You know, the Cup cars, you can get away with a little more and let them roll a little more because you got a little more under your right foot. But in these things, if you lose momentum, that's game over.
Thanks, James. The fans are not only getting to witness an incredible race tonight here at Texas Motor Speedway for the Paradigm Technologies 200, they're also getting to witness some excellent driving from these drivers, and they're learning a few things about how these cars operate. It does look like Jeffrey Ford does get around Jeremy Crandall for that third place position, as Mark Jackson has got a beeline for the lead again. He's making some serious headways. He's going to get to the inside of Gerald Campbell for the lead as they cross the start-finish line. Gerald leads that lap, but Mark Jackson has got the momentum like you just talked about as he drives his car off in turn 1.
Yeah, he clears him easily on the entrance of 1, but look at Gerald Campbell looking for the crossover here. He might have a run coming off the corner, and Jeremy Crandall touches the wall behind.
Yes, he keeps it in one piece, but he definitely loses all his momentum.
Yeah, he's falling way back. He's still sitting in 5th. He's got Kevin Fetty right up on his rear bumper. Kevin might have a run on him coming into 1 here as Mark Jackson makes the move for the lead.
Yes, these gentlemen are going to have to make one more pit stop, you would say for sure, before this race is over, even if we stay green. So Jeremy will be able to get that damage fixed. Hopefully, it should be very, very minor, and he'll be right back in this race for the win.
Yeah, he seems to have a little push. He might have some front end damage here, maybe something I can't pick up on the monitor. But he's a smart, cagey driver. He'll do what he can to get that fixed up and get going here. And we have a pass for second. Jeffrey Ford gets under the 35 of Gerald Campbell, and he takes over second.
Wow, that is very exciting. He's probably going to be looking to get that lead. I don't know if Jeffrey Ford is letting any laps tonight or not, because we do have one in the wall in the back. On the back stretch, he's able to keep it straight. I'll get that driver pulled up in just a second. It looks like James Somkin, the number 1, Bass Pro Shops, got into the wall, got some serious right front fender damage on that number 1 machine. The Chevrolet Camaro's got right front, right rear damage. That's definitely going to slow him down.
Oh, that's a shame for James. I know he was working real hard to get back up there. But look a little further back in the field here. Jeremy Crandall keeps falling back, but one guy who's moving up, 2 guys are Jeff Martin and Eric Stanford, currently sitting in 6th and 7th, and they are pulling up and catching on 5th place Kevin Fetty in a hurry.
Yes, it definitely looks like some of these drivers are racing a smart race tonight at Texas. It's hard to predict when these races start. No matter how much practice you get in, you can never predict if you're going to have a lot of cautions or just a few cautions. But obviously it looks like some of these drivers picked up on the theme, the mood of the drivers tonight, and we have had a pretty clean race tonight. So those guys are definitely saving some of their equipment so they can come on strong here at the end of this long green flag run, get as many positions as possible, and then when they do make their pit stop, they'll give them the best opportunity to get a victory tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And as we're talking about that, Mark Jackson pulled out to a little over a second lead here. His lap times are down probably about 1.2 seconds from the start of the run, but he's about 1/10 to 2/10 quicker than the cars in 2nd, 3rd, 4th behind him. It looks like we have a challenge for second here. Donald Sadusky looking under Gerald Campbell.
Yes, that's exactly, goes back to what I was just commenting on. I'm thinking that Gerald used a lot of his tire up in the first 10, 15, 20 laps of that run, and now he's losing some positions. And Sadusky probably did the opposite, saved some of his equipment, and he's able to make that pass pretty clean, and now he's going to pull away 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 car lengths.
And Jeffrey Ford follows him right through. So we got Gerald Campbell from 2nd to 4th in one corner. Let's see if he can gather it back up here, get those tires pulled off a little bit, and maybe take advantage of this draft. Stick with these guys up in front of him.
My next question, James, is going to be strategy, strategy, strategy. I say this almost every race I commentate on. Winning one of these races is very challenging. We have a whole slew of very talented drivers. You've got to not only have a great driver skill, you've got to have a great crew chief making the calls for you. You've got to have perfect pit stops, and you've got to have that strategy again. Who's going to come in and short pit on this run to get the fresh Goodyear Eagles to hopefully, if we stay green, put them in the catbird seat? That'll be interesting to watch here in a few laps.
Oh, that's the big question here. One of the guys I'm keeping an eye on right now, making a huge run up through the field, is Eric Stanford. He's up to 5th. Looks like he'll be challenging for 4th here shortly. He's definitely done well, as it looks like we have some takers for the pits already.
Yeah, it sounds like the 7 machine of Ricky Lake. He's fallen all the way back to 20th position. He's going to go ahead and come down pit road, make a strategy call. I think he stayed out on the last restart. He slowly dropped all the way back to 20th. He's going to go. He's had enough. He says, I need me some new rubber. Crew chief said, I need to stay out longer. And Ricky Lake said, I'm coming in now for my tires. You better have them on the wall and ready because I'm tired of getting passed.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, he probably has nothing left on that one but cords.
Yeah, luckily we haven't seen any tire failures this week. Well, except for the one we saw earlier tonight. But in the practice sessions, some of the cars were showing a little bit of cording, but nothing too severe. But like I said, we've had a couple of long green flag runs here. And so these tires are going to get wear they have not exactly seen earlier in the practice sessions.
Absolutely, absolutely. As I'm looking back through the field here now, I mean, we still got Mark Jackson out with a 1.7 second lead. But look back to 3rd place now. Eric Stanford in the 24 is charged all the way up to 3rd. He is on fire right now.
Yes, Eric Stanford in that 24. He's in that esbilliards.com, billiard supplies and more. We'll have to get with him in interview later. If he gets a top 3 finish, to ask him all about his sponsor. That's a really good-looking Mustang GT, and you're absolutely right. He's making headway now on Donald Sadusky in that 23. It looks like he's going to have plenty of power to take the blue oval around the Camaro. Probably coming off this turn 2 down the back stretch, if not then, through the next corners 3 and 4. Although he's got a head of steam now, he's going to look to the inside, I predict. Eric Stanford will, and yes, Donald Sadusky's going to stay high and give him plenty of room on the bottom. He saw him coming. That's another smart move by another smart driver.
Oh yeah, nobody wins the race with 35 to go, and Donald knows that. So, but yeah, no, he's watching a car coming at him right now. Eric's a full 10th and a half quicker than the leader right now, so he must have done a real good job of saving his stuff, or he must have learned something. And as I say that, he pushes up off the corner, and he's being challenged for 2nd right now. Donald Sadusky puts his nose under him, coming through 3 and 4, looking to get the run coming off. And they are door to door as they cross the stripe, with Donald Sadusky holding the 2nd place position at the stripe.
Yep. Another thing I forgot to add in the recipe, James, you've got to have to win one of these races amongst all these talented drivers. You've got to have the correct line. And you've got to run that perfect line every lap. You've got to know when the track changes, when to move the line up or down, and that's obviously what happened to Eric. And it looks like he is going to be completely passed through by Donald Sadusky, although he's going to fight back on the outside as they come back to the start-finish line.
Yeah, but all this is doing now is tearing up equipment, and it's letting Mark Jackson pull out to over a 3-second lead now. He's loving seeing them side by side in his mirror, as we got a caution on the track.
Yes, I think it was the 17. We're going to get that replay pulled up here in just a minute.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 17.
Gary Sexton.
Oh, I think we might have had a connection issue here, because I saw him kind of blink out there for a second, and next thing you see, he's in the wall. So that could be an internet problem or something along those lines.
That is true. We'll see if Anybody got caught up in that other than himself? Looks like most people are getting by on the low lane. Somebody just screamed by on the high side. Definitely having connection issues. And at this point, just like earlier in the race, James, we had quite a few cars already on pit road getting their service. They might get trapped a lap down.
Oh my goodness, I'm looking at 9 cars now that got trapped a lap down there. You're looking at the 19 of Tim Cox, the 98 of Andy Kessler, the 95 of Jeffrey Ford, the 15 of Jeff Martin, the 73 of Jeremy Crandall, the 011 of William Davis, the 85 of Judd Danielson, the 77 of Craig Lerman, and the 32 of Dustin Lee. All got trapped a lap down. They should get their lap back here, but they'll wind up behind these guys when we come back to the restart.
Yes, James, thanks. And on that note, we're going to take our final commercial break and be right back to cover the end of this race. Again, you are watching the Paradigm Technology 200 live on All Pro Broadcasting from Texas Motor Speedway. Fans, we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Garrett Smithley, driving the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
Welcome back, race fans, boys and girls, men and women. We are back for the final remaining about 29 laps. It is definitely going to be a shootout. What are you looking for here, James?
Well, at this point, we'll have 29 to go at the line. I mean, you've been saving anything all night. This is the time to lay it on the line. You know, I'm thinking the guy who gets out here, gets out front into clean air, will be in the best position. So I'm looking for Mark Jackson to pull out front and hopefully let these guys fight it out behind him and maybe pick up the W.
As the pace car pulls down pit road, Mark Jackson gets another good jump, but this time Donald Sadusky and Eric Stanford stay pretty close to him here as they scream down the front stretch into turn one, James.
absolutely. Donald Sadusky looks like he's going to have a huge run coming through too here. He's sticking his nose on the inside, and Mark Jackson throws the block down low as they barrel into turn 3.
And Eric Stanford in the 24 is just loving this. He's going to size both the 23 and the 3 up here and hopefully predict the perfect time to get around both of them.
Yeah, and don't look now, but gotten a little bit of an incident before, has a little damage, but Shane Parrish has pulled back up into the 4th position here, with Gerald Campbell following him in 5th, and Mark Fravert, there's a name we haven't said in a while, he's sitting in 6th.
Thanks, James. Kevin Fetty, we've mentioned him a couple times. He has moved from 19th position, James, all the way up to 7th. He is in that 510 Chevrolet Camaro. He's having a great run so far.
He certainly is, and he's got a little bit of gap behind him to the 28 of Gerald Heffley. Tim Cox follows him in 9th. Curtis Young is in 10th, and Jeffrey Ford follows him in 11th.
Looks like in 12th we have Jeff T. Martin in the 15 ATopGamers.com Camaro. Craig Learman, hadn't mentioned him much tonight. He's in the number 77 Camaro. He's running in 13th. He's made a pretty big move through the field so far tonight. Looks like he started back in 26th. Dustin Lee is in that 32. He's running 14th, and he's got a mirror full of Andy Kessler, the birthday boy tonight, in his 98 Ford Mustang. As Andy looks to the inside, it looks like he's going to complete the pass.
Yeah, go Andy, go. Go Andy, go. This is your birthday. Get all you can.
And don't look now, but Judd Danielson, that 85 Domino's TYJ Racing Camaro, is making a move underneath Dustin Lee.
Now we have a development up near the front. We battle for 2nd and 3rd. We've got 23 of Donald Sadusky and the 24 of Eric Stanford pushing on each other, slamming door to door as they go down the backstretch. As they cross the stripe now, got Eric Stanford looking to the high side again to make the move. I don't know if that's quite going to get that done here, but he's doing anything he can to try and pull in that leader.
Yes, as Mark Jackson is pulling away, you can almost throw a blanket over 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. And Eric Stanford's trying everything he can to get around the 23 of Donald Sadusky. That's the 23 and the 24. Across the front stretch, they go over the start-finish line. They are bumper to nose.
Now, I tell you right now, if there was any decals on the front of that 24, they're gone now. He's just about worn them off on the back of that 23.
Yes, looks like behind him, these other drivers, Gerald Campbell, Kevin Fetty, Shane, they are just waiting to see what's happening.
Yes, sir. So we've got our leader approaching looks like James Somke, a couple of laps down now, or after his earlier incident. Let's see if he plays into this at all, or does Mark Jackson use it to his advantage to get a huge run coming off at 2.
It looks like Mark is going to be able to choose his lane, and James Somke does stay up at the top of the track. He's given plenty of room for these drivers to maneuver and get around him. This is some really great racing here, James. We've got about less than 25 laps to go, about 19 laps to go here.
Yeah, we'll be 20 laps to go here at the stripe, Robert, and yeah, just like I thought might happen. I mean, Mark Jackson's got his nose out there in the clean air. He can put that car where he wants to. As long as he hits his marks here, he should be in pretty good shape.
Just quick update on some. Go ahead.
No, looking back a little further, we got our rest of our lead pack here seems to be growing. We've got Tim Cox in 8th, catching up to Mark Fravert in 7th here. He's kind of become a big part of this and hopefully have part of the action toward the end here.
Oh, and we got one loose. Not able to save it.
They're down in the grass. We're staying green.
Yes, I'm going to pull that up for review. It is the 24 of Eric Stanford.
And I believe it was the 95 of Jeffrey Ford with him.
Either that or the 81 of Shane Parrish, I think.
No, I got the 81 still up here in.
Yeah, my bad. You're right. It was Gerald Campbell. Yes, sir. Looks like the 24 actually gets on the apron, kind of all by himself. And that's where the trouble begins. He gets on the apron, the left front tires, and then he just gets a little look tap from the 81 because he had slowed his momentum. The 35 gets collected as they go through the grass, but we are staying green. Unfortunate for those guys.
Yeah, it is. He was running a real good race too, but once you unweight that left front on the apron, these things get. The only way to maintain any control is you got to whoa them up a bit, and everybody trying to keep up the momentum. It's no surprise he wound up getting into him there. You can't afford to lift. You lose too much. So he was probably hoping to clear them, and just didn't happen that way.
Yes, and obviously, like you said, the momentum is so important here that you got to make a choice when you get loose like that. James, you know this all too well. You're a very, very experienced, talented driver. You got to either gather it back up, lose the momentum, hope you don't get hit, or you wreck the car and you could be out for the rest of the race. So he did what he had to do there.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, the scary thing is when you're coming up on someone like that, and you're on the edge of trying to keep this thing going as fast as you can. If you lift, you may put yourself in a worse situation sometimes. So, it's not always that these guys are, don't know where the brake pedal is. They know where it is, but they're not going to try and wreck themselves to avoid somebody else's wreck, if that makes any sense.
Yes, sir. And back up front, Mark Jackson has got a great lead here. Is Donald Sadusky going to be able to make up that ground on the tires he has if we do not have another caution, in your opinion, James?
I tell you right now, Mark has had that clean air since the green flag. I mean, unless Donald's playing possum here a little bit, I think Mark's got the car to beat right now.
And they are separated by a good 12, 13, 14 car lengths. And don't look now, we have Kevin Fetty making a move. He started way back, talked about him a couple of times. This is his debut race in the Dominus JYJ Racing Premier Xfinity League because we didn't have one last year. And he is all the way up to third place, and he's making a beeline on the 23 of Donald Sadusky. Maybe he's the one that saved his tires from equipment the most. He's going to cross him to start finish. He's going to get a run on him going into turn 1 and 2. We'll see if he can clear him. Go ahead, James.
No, I've been watching Kevin for a while. He's one of those guys that seems like he saved a bit more and not really showing what he had all night. But we're coming up on just about 10 laps to go here. If he's got anything, he's got to show it now.
Yes, and what's coming up on 10 laps to go? Well, you got a caution now. Give me a minute. We'll try to pull this replay up and see what happened here. Looks like the 28 of Gerald, otherwise known as Rick Heffley, had some issues.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here. The 28 came up off of 2, got into the wall, and collected the 24. So you got Gerald Heffley, you got Eric Stanford, and then, the 94 Curtis Young. Straight into the wreck. Just absolutely nowhere to go.
Yeah, that corner, wall, outside wall off of turn 2. I'm surprised, James, we haven't seen more cautions there, more spins, because when the tires go away, you really got to finesse your car coming off the corner, and obviously Rick had trouble doing that in the 28. Overcorrected, came back down, collected the 24, and like you said, looks like the 94 of Curtis Young also got involved there. Heavy contact. We'll have to get a word with Curtis Young, make sure he's okay, because that was one of the hardest contacts I've seen in a long time. And let us know, James, if you can, who's coming down pit road and who's staying out here.
Yeah, I'm just watching these guys come around here, and they're just entering turn 3 right now. This is decision time. I mean, by the time we come back to green, we're probably going to be 6 or 7 laps to the checkered flag. Do you risk it on, do you risk going in and losing track position, or who's going to be the person that takes a chance, decides to stay out, and maybe hope to stay out in front of the field?
Looks like all the leaders are coming, except for the
Tim
19
Cox.
Stays out.
Tim Cox is the first one to stay out.
I'm going to cover this pit stop real quick on the number 3 of Mark Jackson as he's coming down pit road. At this point, he knows some guys stayed out. I would almost bank he's going to get 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles if he's going to have any chance at all of running them down with 5 or 6 laps to go. The right side of the car is up. He's getting the 2 right Goodyear Eagles. He doesn't need much fuel today or here for the rest of the race. The left side's up.
Looks like the 23 may have taken 2 tires there. Donald Sadusky maybe making a strategy call here.
Yes, Donald Sadusky only took 2. It's going to really be interesting to see what 2 is going to do here. You know better than I do. I've raced a few races here at Texas in any kind of car, whether it's the Cup car, Xfinity, or the truck. Sometimes if your left side's got a lot of wear on them and you put 2 on there, you get really, really loose. We'll just have to see how it pans out here.
Yeah, it's all a matter of where the grip and where the balance is, and depending on your driving style, how it's wearing on that particular day. At certain tracks, I'll even, towards the end, I'll actually take left sides if we're getting a lot of left front wear. But if you've got a lot of left front wear, you put right sides on it. It's just like being on a skating rink. Fun to drive, but scary.
Yes, again, fans, we're staying right here for the end of this race. I did just want to mention our sponsor one more time. You are watching the Paradigm Technology 200 here at Texas Motor Speedway. Paradigm Technologies, they are out of Hampton, Georgia. They've come aboard for quite a few races this year. Paradigm leverages creative and development talent throughout the country in order to achieve the greatest level of success for their clients, which could be you. Led by CEO and founder Donnie Height, along with a team of well-positioned employees around the globe, Paradigm brings the most up-to-date, on-demand access and attention to their clients' needs, allowing them to achieve the most innovative, up-to-date success with all their projects. Make sure you look them up. That would be ParadigmDevelopment.net or PDC.technology. Well, James, this restart's going to be very exciting. We got Tim B. Cox restarting first. And to his outside, Donald Sadusky, who took 2 tires from what we saw. Mark Jackson's the first car with 4 fresh tires. I'm assuming the cars behind him, Andy Kessler, Kevin Fetty, also got, more than likely, where they're sitting on the track, probably 4 tires.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Andy took 2. But he was a bit further back in the field. Got a good feeling that Judd Danielson may have also taken 2 tires there. So we got a couple of different strategies here. Be real interested to see how it plays out. I tell you, I sure like to see Andy Kessler. I mean, he's a name we haven't seen. We haven't seen him anywhere near the top 10 all night. Here he is sitting in 4th, night of his birthday. It'd be an awfully nice birthday gift, wouldn't it?
It sure will. The lights are out on the pace car here. So they're coming down the back stretch. These guys are what are they thinking right now? If you were the leader, 19 staying out, you'd probably try to get the best jump you could get.
Oh, absolutely. He knows he's on old tires. I mean, Donald Sadusky outside him has 2. Mark Jackson's been the dominant car all night. He has 4. Man, if I'm the 19 of Tim Cox, I'm looking to get a huge jump out front, and I'm hoping somebody wrecks behind me so this thing ends under caution. If it doesn't, I'm pretty much a sitting duck, and I've just got to fend and defend the best I can. But his best bet right now is to get a good jump and an early caution here and maybe walk away with a surprise win.
Yes, we're going to do Crank It Up one more time as the pace car pulls in. He gets a great start, Tim Cox does, and we're going to be quiet, let you guys enjoy, and ladies, fans, enjoy this Crank It Up.
Going on right now. Mark Jackson, the dominant car all night. Oh, it looked like he touched the apron there, got loose, and just couldn't hold on to it.
Wow, that is definitely going to shape things up here. Hopefully we'll get one more restart.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one's over, Robert. I don't think we're gonna have enough time to get her back green.
Yes, I see that replay. He gets on the apron, loses it. He gets up into the marbles on the outside, and that collects quite a few cars involved in there.
Oh, what a shame for a guy who'd been running such a strong race all night long. But looking up at the front here, we look like we're going to have Donald Sadusky coming away with the win in that beautiful car as a tribute to his son. What a nice statement. Andy Kessler in the 98, sitting in second. Didn't hear his name all night. Coming home with a great finish on his birthday. And Kevin Fetty right now is sitting in third. And Shane Parrish makes his way back up after some early damage. He sits in fourth. And Judd Danielson in the 85 sits in fifth. Wow, pretty exciting finish. Would have been nice to be under green, but what a turn of events here right at the end of the race, Robert.
Yeah, last night we finished under green flag. We've had a lot of races finish under green. Looks like the 44 is going to get the lucky dog. That's going to help him a little bit, we think. This has definitely been a change of events. So we'll have to see. Take us through the remaining where you left off there, James. Take care of something real quick.
I've got Gerald Campbell in the 35 sitting in sixth. Jeremy Crandall in the 73 sitting in seventh. Mark Fravert in the 18, big mover tonight, sitting in eighth. Dustin Lee in the 32 sitting in ninth. And Jeff Martin in the 15 right now, wrapping up your top 10. Just taking a peek forward to see if we will have a chance at a one-lap shootout here. We'll get to see as they come around this time. If they line up double file, we might have a one-lap shootout for the win still. Sitting in 11th is the 19th, the Tim B. Cox. He was our leader there out on old tires. He actually pushed up, got a little piece of the wall, a little bit of damage prior to Mark Jackson's incident there. You've got, sorry, I lost the track here.
Yeah, I'll be right back in just a second. Keep talking, James. Thanks.
Yeah, you got William Davis sitting in 12th in the 011. Jeffrey Ford in the 95 sitting 13th. Mark Jackson sitting in 14th in the number 3 car. And Ray Richer, right now, the last car on the lead lap after taking the wave by. Lucky Dog, he's sitting in 15th. Sorry, Robert's been pulled away here. He's got a little bit of adminning duty to do here. Take you through some of the rest of the field as we're sitting here. Sitting 16th, one lap down, is a 7 of Ricky Lake. 17th is the number 14, Gary Weston. He's 2 laps down. 63, Charles Morrow. There's a driver that made a big move early in the race. Got tied up in a little bit of incidents. He's sitting in 18th, 2 laps down. Jack Watts is in 19th, 5 laps down. James Somke sitting in 20th in the number 1. Michael Lawler in the 93 sits 21st. Eric Stanford in the 24 sits 22nd. Curtis Young in the 94 sits 23rd. Gerald Hefferly sits 24th in the number 28 car. We're looking here, and yeah, we are going to finish under yellow here. They did not double up, so and whoa, our leader's on the apron. What is
Yes.
going on here?
Yeah, see, the officials ruled that he changed lanes on that last restart, and so he is being penalized for that move. It's definitely a violation of the rules. Admin's discussed it real quick, and unfortunately, he'll be put at the end of the line here for the last lap. Very, very heartbreaking. Sometimes these lessons are really hard to learn, and he definitely will know.
Oh, what a heartbreaking way to lose a race. But on the flip side, what a day for Andy Kessler. Running around mid-pack to the back all night. Day of his birthday, bringing home the big win here at Texas Motor Speedway. Congratulations, Andy.
Yeah, that is exciting. What we're going to do is get these drivers up in the booth here to do a quick interview. And James, if you'll give everybody any more information you've got on maybe the next race we're having next week. I do know Wednesday night the Den Defender trucks are going to be at Charlotte. If you've got that handy, I'll try to get these drivers up here for interviews.
Surely will do. So looking at our schedule here, we're looking at our Den Defenders Truck Series. Our next race will be actually a week from this coming Wednesday on the 29th in Martinsville. Oh, that ought to be an interesting one. Taking a look at our Top Shelf Cup Series. They'll be running here on March 23rd here at Texas. Big time speed here at Texas. And then you've got our Premier Xfinity Series. Our next race will be at Kansas on March 30th. So don't miss one part of the action. Always big things going on here with Domino's TYJ Racing and All Pro Broadcasting. Just to give you a quick rundown of our official finishing order here. First place, number 98, Andy Kessler. Second place, number 510, Kevin Fetty. Great finish for his first race here. In third, number 81 is Shane Parrish. In fourth, the 85 of Judd Danielson. And in fifth, the 35 of Gerald Campbell. Well, those are your top five tonight. Finishing sixth was the 73 of Jeremy Crandall. It seems like Gerald Campbell and Jeremy Crandall, almost a tongue twister, have been together all night. In seventh, number 18 of Mark Favorite. In eighth, number 32 of Dustin Lee. In ninth, the number 15 of Jeff Martin. And in 10th, the number 10 of Tim Cox. That wraps up your top 10 from here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yes, in 11th we got William Davis. Jeffrey Ford brings it home 12th. Mark Jackson, after that incident, brings it home 13th. Donald Sadusky still gets a decent finish in 14th. Ray Richer in 15th. And we do have the drivers here for interviews. I am going to pull up, let's see, our third place finishing driver, Shane Parrish, just a second. Shane, this is Robert and James Ross in the broadcast booth. How you doing tonight?
Doing excellent, thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations on a third place finish. Looks like you started third, you finished third, you led some laps, I think, there in the meantime. This is your second race with Domino's TYJ Racing. How'd you get it done again tonight, and who would you like to thank, Shane?
I'd like to thank the team first off for the set that they built. It's great. The Domino setups worked very well this evening. Just made a little mistake there, got the car loose, put some damage underneath of it, and just never could recover with the full damage while going back to the field. And track position is so important here. But I want to thank everybody in the league. It's just a great place to be, and if there's anybody out there thinking, please try out. It's awesome.
Hey, we appreciate it, Shane. Excuse me. Congratulations again. Have a great weekend, and we'll definitely be talking to you soon. We'll definitely see you in the trucks this coming Wednesday at Charlotte. Have a good weekend, Shane.
Look forward to it. Thank you very much.
And now we're going to have James interview our second place finisher, the 510 of Kevin Fetty.
Hey, Kevin Fetty, this is James Ross up in the booth. You got a copy?
James, I have a copy.
Well, look at this. I believe this your first race here with us?
Yes, sir. This is my first race in the TYJ Xfinity Series, so pretty good start.
Absolutely. Heck of a drive, heck of a finish. What's it feel like to come home second in your first event here with Domino's TYJ Racing?
It feels good, obviously. That was a lot of fun, a lot of close calls. I was worried starting there in 19th that it would be trying to get out of the hornet's nest, and there were a couple times things got a little sketchy, but all worked out at the end.
That's good. Yeah, I was watching throughout the race. It looked like you were saving your stuff early on, trying to make sure you had something to go towards the end of the runs. Were you saving there, or were you pretty much all out the whole time?
No, I was managing the tires. I was planning on some tire strategy that never worked out, but even when it didn't, I went ahead and saved some tires, let people go there early in the run, and managed to catch back up and pass them there near the end of the run.
Very good. Well, who is it that does it for you on your team here? Who do you want to thank for your second place finish here tonight?
Well, I want to thank Slap Chop and Sham Wow and Sticky, my sponsors, along with Vince Offer. He's riding on my quarter panel tonight. He must have given me some good luck. I also want to thank TYJ, Robert, and Judd for allowing me to run a partial schedule in Xfinity this year. I really appreciate them letting me come out and play tonight.
Absolutely. Well, we enjoyed watching you race. Great finish tonight, and congratulations, Kevin.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a good evening.
You too.
All right, and now we're going to bring you into the booth for the interview. If I can get him away from his crew chief and all the champagne flowing down there in Victory Lane, Andy Kessler. Andy Kessler, this is Robert and James in the broadcast booth. Congratulations, sir. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic now.
Well, I was telling him earlier, Andy, because I've only gotten to know you here lately in the last few months. Did you turn 21, 31, 41, or 51 today?
Yeah, let's put it this way. It's closer to 40. How about that?
Hey, that sounds great. This is one of the best ways to finish off your birthday. Hopefully there's some other good ways you can finish a birthday off, even if you're almost 40. You had a great run tonight, great looking car. I know your spotter helped you out a lot, your crew chief. You had good strategy on pit road. I don't think you made any mistakes. I don't see much damage on your car. How did you get all the way to the lead here after starting 14th, Andy?
I'll tell you what, the car was great. It worked very well through traffic. I felt long run. It was fast. Both times, though, it came down on those green flag pit stops, got caught by a caution. I had to get the wave around. It just set me so far back. Twice it did that, and it was just tough to get around everybody. You can run wide open for quite a long time at this track if you play it right, so it makes it tough to pass. But other than that, it just the last, that last final caution came out. Well, not the final one, but the second to last. We came down pit road, and I had to go for it, and I took 2 tires, came out fourth, and from there it was. Got around one guy, dodged the 3 there when he was going to get, he almost, where he did end up wrecking, but I got around him, and there I was in second. I was ecstatic for that, and then, I hate it for the 23. He had a great race car too as well, but, rules are rules, and it's just unfortunate, and I know he won't do that again either, and I know for sure I won't do it, knowing, seeing what can happen.
Yes, Andy, I appreciate that. Yes, he had a great run. He should be very proud. But we're happy you're in our league. We're happy for everything you've done to help us out. The little bit that you have done, we do appreciate it. We're excited that you got your first win. Knock that off the bucket list. I would not be surprised if you get quite a few more. And as I've said in most of the races we're doing here in 2017, to win one of these races against the field of talented drivers we have, you've got to have a great driver, which you are. You got to have a great crew chief, a great spotter. Great strategy. You got to have perfect moves on pit road, and that call to just get 2 tires, I think that won you to the race.
Yeah, it definitely put me up there with an opportunity to, and it was definitely a great call. And it is hard to win these races. I thought I had a good chance at Auto Club a few weeks ago. That just didn't work. Got an accident there, and it is tough to win these things. And when you do win them, it makes them that much sweeter as well too. So. Hopefully it just opens the floodgates now, and hopefully we can get some good racing luck here over the next few weeks. But this is definitely a good points day, a good win, and a good day overall.
Yes, sir, Andy. One word I did leave out, and you just said it. Luck. You got to have luck in that equation to win these races. Congratulations, Andy. Who would you like to thank for this win tonight?
I'll tell you what, first off, I definitely got to thank Dave Washington. Helps out tremendously. Anybody, really, but just knowing him over the last few years, and he's definitely helped me out a lot, and especially starting to race again, because I haven't raced in quite a bit doing all the broadcasting I did. So to come back out and race the trucks on Wednesdays here, and then now these Xfinity cars as well on Thursdays, I want to thank him a lot. Of course, James Ross too as well. Known him for quite a long time as well, and of course all the guys at Aegis and PowerTech Power Solutions, of course, all you guys at Domino's for putting this all together, Robert, and you can't forget about All Pro Broadcasting as well. Michael D'Amico, everything he does, and puts these things up on the TV screen for everybody to watch.
Yes, sir. Well, you have a great night, a great weekend celebrating. We'll definitely see you soon, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, happy birthday, Andy.
Yeah, thanks, James. Thanks. Yeah, definitely a good one.
Well, James Ross, tell us what your takeaway is from this race. You did an excellent job I cannot tell you how thankful I am you came in here and helped us tonight. What are your takeaways from tonight?
Oh man, I mean, where do you start? I mean, that's six or seven times I thought I knew the way this thing was going to go down, and every time I did, there was another twist, there was another turn, some other change of fortune. Even down to the last restart, a call being made on the restart. My good buddy Andy getting his first win here, and on his birthday. I mean, this is storybook stuff. This was an unbelievable race.
Yeah, again, I do appreciate you being here. Also, I'd like to mention we do thank Michael D'Amico for all of his great camera work. This would not be happening. Fans, you would not be seeing it and viewing and having your opportunity to win that free pizza more than likely if we didn't have a great crew with Michael D'Amico running the cameras. And I did want to mention last thing, Mike Thompson out of Nashville, Tennessee. That's where he's from. He did pick Andy to win this race. I don't know if he knows him or not. We got viewers all over the place. We've got some viewers that watch, believe it or not, outside of the country. Got a few drivers from outside of the country, especially Canada. But we're happy for Mike Thompson, who won his free large 3-topping pizza. For James Ross, Michael D'Amico on the cameras, my name is Robert McFarland. Fans, thanks a lot, and we will see you again here next Wednesday night for the Den Defenders truck race at Charlotte. Have a good weekend, fans.